guys, welcome to yet another video. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the relationship between fractions, decimals, and percentages. You have to know, it is essential, it is vital for you to know how to convert from fractions to decimals, from fractions to percentages, from decimals to percentages, from percentages to decimals, percentages to fractions. Whatever way, you need to be able to know that there is a relationship that exists between these three things. So one of the ways that you have to know is you have to know certain key rules, and these will really help you in your mathematical journey. So we're going to start off by going from a fraction to a decimal. So one of the key ways that you have to do is you need to find out how many times does this denominator go into this numerator. And one way you can do it, you can use your long division. Let me use a smaller pen so that we have enough space here. So I want you to imagine that the denominator is, this fraction is like a house. The denominator, we can call it the one who's inside the house. So the one who's inside the house, that is the 4, is kicked out of the house and goes outside. And the one who was on the roof, that is the numerator, goes in the house. Then we look at it as a long division sum. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 1? It can't. So you write a 0, then you put your point there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add a 0 to that 1. Then you ask yourself, how many times does 4 go into 10? And 4 goes into 10 2 times. We know, according to our long division method, if you haven't practiced and mastered your long division, please watch that video. It is already in the channel. So the next step when you do your long division is you multiply 2 times 4. We know that 2 times 4 is 8. We subtract 10 minus 8, that's 2. 4, can 4 go into 2? It can't. Then we bring down an imaginary 0. Then we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 20? 4 goes into 20 5 times. And there you have your answer. 1 over 4, when it's a decimal, it's 0.25. Okay, we move on to the next step. How do we turn this into a percentage? So you write down your 0.25, then you multiply it by 100. One thing that I want you to always know is this: whenever you hear the word percent, always think of number 100. All right, so cool. One of the things that I want to show you is this: whenever you multiply a decimal with or any of the multiples of 100, you always count the number of zeros, then you move the decimal point to the right. Whenever you multiply, you move it to the right, the number of zeros that you have. So let's see, how many zeros does 100 have? It only has 2 zeros. So we take our decimal point, we move it 1, 2. If we move it twice, the decimal point will be behind the 5. That means the answer is 25. And remember, percentage will have this nice special sign called percent. So 1 over 4 is 0.25 as a decimal, and it's 25% as a percentage. All right, moving on. We want to see how we can convert 0.75 as a percentage and as a fraction. So the easier way is for you to go to the percentage. Already now you know the method. Let's do the method that we just did in the sum above. So 0.75 times 100. We're going to count how many zeros we have. We have 2. We're going to move our decimal point to the right 2 times. That is 1, 2. So our answer is a clean 75%. So now, one thing that I told you in the beginning, that percentage and fraction are related because they are kind of the same in terms of they are all fractions. What do I mean by that? If I say 75%, it is the same as saying 75 over 100. Because 75% means 75 out of 100. So that is basically, this is a fraction. But remember, one of the key rules in maths, you always have to simplify. So we ask ourselves, how many times or what number can go into 75 and go into 100 without leaving a remainder? And that number is 25. So 25 goes into 75 3 times. And 25 goes into 100 4 times. So 0.75 is 75% and it's 3 over 4 or 3/4. Alright, so now we get it. We're gonna go on the last one. We already know what 65% is, and I've already told you in the previous example that 65% means 65 over 100. And we just look for a number that goes into 65 and goes into 100. Okay, in this case, let's use 5. Okay, 5 goes there once, remainder 1. 5 goes there 3 times, that's 13. 5 goes there 2 times. 5 goes there 0, that's 13 over 20. Alright, when we go to our decimal, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna say 20 goes outside, 13 goes inside the house, and we use our long division method to calculate. Can 20 go into 13? No. We put a 0, we put a point. Then we add an imaginary 0 again to the 13. Can 20 go into 130? Yes, it can. How many times? It goes in 6 times. Then 6 times 20, that's 120. We subtract, we get 10. Then we bring down an imaginary 0. Then we ask ourselves, can 20 go into 100? Yes, it can. 5 times. So 65% is 13 over 20, which is 0.65. And you can go either way, whether you want to go from fractions, you want to go to decimals, from decimals to percentages. You have this awesome conversions, and they're all related. As we can see, they're all the same. So you have to practice. Practice makes permanent. The more you do it, the more it becomes so easy. Hope you understand. See you in the next one.